Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. I'm trying to free your mind.
So Microsoft's new AI technology Copilot is rolling out to some PCs and will be kind of mainstream as time goes on, but I've been looking at some of the features and this thing is an absolute privacy nightmare in my opinion. So we're just going to go through them briefly and then y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments. So in a few sentences, what is recall? Recall is simply a local AI that allows you to find content that you already have stored on your computer, whether that's a photo or a web browser or an app. That is essentially the goal of recall. So recall monitors every move while you're on your computer and it captures screenshots every 5 seconds as your screen changes. But local AI helps Windows determine when you've done something different enough to warrant a screenshot. And local AI also insists in parsing the images to extract text so that details can be offered as search results whenever you decide to look up your tax returns or look up a hat or a video game or something you wanted to buy in the past. Now, of course, none of these cool features come without a cost. And one of the biggest costs is hard drive. It's going to require a minimum of 256 gigs and 50 gigs of that space must be available. The default allocation for recall on a device with 256 gigs minimum would be 25 gigabytes of space, which can store approximately 3 months of snapshots. And then here Microsoft says you can increase the storage allocation for recall in your PC settings. Old snapshots will be deleted once you use your allocated storage, allowing the new ones to be stored. Now, that doesn't just include basic things like photos of random stuff or old vacation photos. These are also private things that you probably don't want snapshotted. This could include passwords, tax details, and other sensitive details. Really, anything you do is kind of fair game. But to protect some of your privacy, Microsoft does exclude private browsing sessions. You must manually exclude certain websites unless you use Microsoft Edge. And if there's certain applications that you don't want recall screenshot, you have to manually go in and change that yourself. Now, of course, with the new Copilot PCs, this recall feature is going to be available to set up at startup. Now, obviously, if you are somewhat accustomed to computers, you might just turn that off right there on the bat. But for the most part, when people get machines, they usually skip through all this stuff and just click next on everything. So I can imagine that a lot of people will have this turned on whether they realize it or not. I think Microsoft will do a pretty good job of sneaking it in so people don't realize what they are doing when they just hit next and just sign up with whatever random Microsoft account that they use. And again, just confirm, Microsoft confirms here, says note that recall does not perform content moderation. It will not hide information such as passwords or financial account numbers. That data may be in snapshots that are stored on your device, especially when sites do not follow standard internet protocols like cloaking password entry. But I do appreciate that they do have some minor security standards in place. That screenshots are only available to the person whose profile was used to sign into the device. It says if two people share a device with different profiles, they will not be able to access each other's screenshots. It said if they use the same profile to sign into the device, they will share a screenshot history. Otherwise, recall screenshots are not available to other users or accessed by other applications or services. And moving on with some of the privacy features, it says recall screen snapshots are kept on Copilot PCs themselves on the local hard disk and are protected using data encryption on your device if you have Windows 11 Pro or an Enterprise Windows 11 SKU, of course. Recall screenshots are only linked to a specific user profile and Recall does not share them with other users, make them available for Microsoft to view or use them for targeting advertisements. Screenshots are only available to the person whose profile was used to sign into the device. If two people share a device with different profiles, they will not be able to access each other's screenshots. If they use the same profile to sign into the device, they would share a screenshot history. Otherwise, recall screenshots are not available to other users or accessed by other applications or services. Again, that is great. However, BitLocker is not 100%. BitLocker or device encryption is not 100% bulletproof. Local processing doesn't necessarily mean local access only in general. Your PC's contents can still be viewed remotely if it's accessed by ill-gotten means. And if you are logged into a Windows account when an attacker hacks your computer, your files won't be protected by encryption then. And it says they will be automatically decrypted when accessed. So you definitely have to make sure that your antivirus defenses are ready to go if you plan to use recalls, so you can kind of keep some of the hackers from looking through all those screenshots. Because once you link that Microsoft account in, you're just as vulnerable as anybody else with or without device encryption. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you going to be using Copilot? Has it already been implemented in your PC already? Have you been experimenting with it? Do you think this is going to lead to a disaster, a privacy nightmare, or is Microsoft going to work out the kinks? Or are you going to be like myself? I've been using Linux Mint for quite some time now. I have no desire to dual boot or go back. Even at my job, I managed to get my machine moved over to Linux Mint without any problem. So I'm probably not going to even do too much experimenting with Windows 11 unless it's more of a work setting. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe if you appreciate videos like this. I try to put out one every week. Thank you for those who are watching on YouTube, Odyssey, or Rumble. I greatly appreciate it.